Paul, McGuire, Grimes, A, B, C. Minneapolis, Timothy, Elle. It is really such an honor getting to talk to both of you today. Timothy, I was at the Minneapolis screening and after party the other night when you were here. So thank you so much for coming to Minnesota. We always love having you here. So thank you.
I absolutely love being there. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you guys. Timothy, I have to start with you. I never once thought that you were just doing an impression of Bob Dylan. So I'm curious, what was that entry point into really understanding who he was at this time so that you weren't just doing an impersonation of him?
You know, the entry point for me was the music, and it wasn't an academic process. It wasn't really sophisticated. It was the proximity I felt to his music and the points of relation that I had with it that one has with any music artist that you look up to or relate to. And the only difference here was at some point I was tasked with embodying him. And that music, even in the scenes that are dialogue heavy or the arc of the movie as a whole, the music was really, those were the cornerstones for me in this movie. The way on that Dune 2 poster behind you, the cornerstones there were more, combat oriented or they were different flags. But I feel like in every movie you work on, there's always the flags that guide your character.
Or the chocolate and Wonka.
Or the chocolate
I
and Wonka.
love
Thank you.
Wonka, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you were really good in it.
Oh.
Not a lot of people could pull that off. And you were really, I loved it.
Oh my God, I could do a whole Timmy appreciation for this.
him.
And I just want to go to you. I'm curious, as you were studying this era, what surprised you most about learning about Bob Dylan or this era of music?
Yes, I mean, I was a Bob Dylan fan. Which is, you say that and you're like, oh, well, you're saying that you're in this press and doing these interviews. But I did a film with Cameron Crowe, who obviously, huge music lover. Oh, we bought a zoo. Yep, there it is. Yep, that
No
movie.
way.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
But
Audition for that.
you did?
Yep.
Oh, no. We would have worked together. Colin Ford got the
No
part.
hard feelings, yeah.
Yeah, no hard feelings. But he played music all the time on set and would play Buckets of Rain over and over again. And I was like, I turned 13 on that movie. I was like, what? Who is this? I didn't know anything about Bob Dylan, and he introduced me, and then I would listen to his music going to set all the time and just became kind of obsessed with his songs. I don't know all the facts or anything back then, but just was a lover of the music and it moved me in that time. But then obviously getting cast in this, I felt like I manifested it in a lot of ways because Bob Dylan really was a lot of part of my childhood and growing up. Even a producer on a film once gave me a Bob Dylan harmonica. Oh, wow. I was really that much. I loved him. So getting to be in this film, it was really, I don't know, it was very exciting for me. And then, of course, immersing myself more in the West Village of the 60s and Ariane Phillips, who did our costume design and even the sets that they recreated of that time.
You also met a shaman that was very 60s-like while we were filming downtown.
Oh. That is true. I got, bamboozled. Someone bamboozled me it was a lot of money. And I was, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm learning the ropes of New York. I'm there more, but I was really living there in the West Village. And this woman came up to me, said she was going to read my future. And I went to an ATM, okay, and gave her money. But everyone was that's such a West Village experience. It was all right, that's a great West Village story.
But didn't you give her the money and then she asked for more or something?
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's bad what I did.
But at some point you cut it off.
Yes, I had to. I was I have to go. I had to run away.
I remember that. Elle came on set the next day and she was like, I went through this strange thing yesterday.
Yeah.
And talking about, meeting somebody who's reading her future. And the story was already crazy. And then she's like, and then I went to this ATM and I pulled whatever it was, $200, $500, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what happened?
Yeah, they're really gullible and I don't know. I don't know. She said
we all have learning experiences. I totally get it.
Right.
I'm getting your app. I have 85,000 questions for you. Timothy, I moderated a Q&A with you and Nick Sheff the last time you were here in Minneapolis, and that meant a lot to me and is a highlight of my life and career. So thank you for that time as well.
Same here. That was a beautiful trip. That's a beautiful film. Thanks for taking this time today.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Congrats, you guys. Congratulations.